What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles. We have a 2006, I think, Kawasaki Ninja 650R, and I tell you what, I'm not gonna lie. Is that seat on right? The seat's on right. I'm not gonna lie, I like these bikes. Let's take it for a spin. Now the 650R is rocking the same motor in like the EN6R. It's a twin, 650 twin, and it's real torquey. Yeah. And don't look at this bike as being a crappy. Don't look at this bike as being a crappy Ninja, or like a crappy ZX6R. It's not. A crappy ZX6R is the ZX6R that was made before 2009. That's a crap. No, I'm just kidding. Although 2009, they've really started to crush it, and I really like them. Although a lot of people love the 636s in the previous body style. But this is a different bike than the Ninja. It's a 650. Even though it's a bigger displacement, it's actually significantly less power. But I like where the power's at. It's an inline twin, and the feeling is going to be more along the lines of like a V-twin, but just a little smoother. It's torquey, and all the power is right there when you need it, and it's fun to do wheelies. It's also the same engine that was, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's in the there's another name for that bike. It's not the ER6N, EN6R. No, what is it? I forget what the other name for that bike is. But it's like that goofy looking, naked, not quite off-road Kawasaki. I can't think of the name. Versus. Yes. It's the same engine in the Versus. I love the Versus. And I love this. So instead of clip-on handlebars that would be down here, it says the dirt bike style handlebars that go on top of here. So you're sitting significantly more, I mean, you from here, now you're up here. This is a very comfortable riding stance. Another thing, these bikes are great. They're great entry-level bikes. It's a good bike for a beginner because one, it still has a tons of power, but you're not going to get yourself into. You could get yourself into a lot. Look at that moose. You could get yourself into a lot of trouble, but maybe it doesn't have the potential to get yourself in as much trouble as like a super sport. But it's one of those bikes that you're not necessarily going to grow out of. You just might want more. But it's okay. Let's say you get this for your first bike. You can ride it for a long time. You could ride it for the rest of your life. Let's say you get a Honda Rebel for your first bike. You will ride it for 2 weeks, and you're going to sell it and get something different. This is one of those bikes, kind of like the 650. Oh, what's that bike called? You know what I'm talking about. That V-twin, the Suzuki V-twin. I never get them. I forget what it is. They made a 1000, but you never saw them. That little Suzuki 650 V-twin bike. I forget what they call it. But it's kind of like that. It's one of those bikes where like new guys ride them, but then people love to track them, and they're just fun to ride. They had a good power band. You had a lot of fun on the street, and they were cheap, reliable, and inexpensive, and everyone just loved riding them. So the new riders love them, the old riders ride them. This bike has 3111 miles. That's awesome. So it's got super low miles. It's very nice. We just the two tail lights were just, those little rubber grounds are dangling off, so we just replaced them and did a little underbody kit, something we picked off of eBay or something. You know, the same one that everyone else has. And that's pretty cool. So we just got done doing that. And up here, I'm going to see if I can pop a wheelie on this beast. So it's pretty cold. It's pretty cold. It's getting into that chill factor. It's the time of riding where you gotta really start watching out in the morning when you're riding. You gotta keep an eye on for ice. You gotta scrape off when you wake up in the morning, you gotta scrape off the ice off your helmet and then scrape off the ice off your windshield before you get in and start popping wheelies and stuff. You're pretty much never gonna get really warm tires. Your best bet is hope that you have really grippy tires. And if you plan on continuing riding during the winter season, if you don't have good tires, just get some new tires. The bike pulls. It definitely pulls. It's a lot of fun. I bet I can do a nice little clutch wheelie. Gotta rev it up a little high. I gotta rev it up a little higher than that. It's also very nimble. Brakes are very responsive. Rear brake, if you ever use it, I don't, because it's dumb. Well, actually, I use my rear brake when I'm riding with no hands, and I have to stop like this. I gotta slow down. Or if you're doing like trail braking. So it's pretty cold outside. The guys are all complaining and whining. They're like, I want to go for a ride. It's cold. I have this is actually my like summer jacket that has the liner. I picked this thing up at Cycle Gear. It was cheap, but I feel great on it. I'm wearing regular jeans. Nothing special, no special jeans. They feel good. And I've been rocking these gloves that I got from Costco. These leather, like, working man's gloves. Love them. So I did that was like a little clutch wheelie. You can see the front end comes up pretty easily. I could probably clutch it. I could probably get it to pop up if I'm in second on this little hill. That'd be sweet. Let's try it. I have no idea what gear I'm in. Yeah! First it started to spin, and then I cut out a couple inches, and then it just popped right up because the ground just kind of came out from underneath it. So, I mean, in my opinion, what makes a fun bike is, and I'm a more advanced, I'm not a beginner rider. I'm not the best out there, but I'm pretty decent and I feel pretty comfortable riding any bike out there. And what I consider a bike that's fun is just something you can really put to its limits, or when it's super fast, but something like this, it's quick enough, it's fun enough. You can get the front end up, you can get the back end up, you can, you know, cut the back end out if you want to. You know, it's just, it can do the things you want it to. It's not going to do them as fast as some other bikes, but in a ways that's fun too. But it definitely handles well, and I'm enjoying it. So, alright guys, that wraps up the test drive of the 2006, I believe, I have no idea, Kawasaki Ninja 650. These bikes keep on getting better. And this is the, I don't know, I'm not sure how much difference they changed the motor. It's probably been changed, but this is the same basic power plant that they use for the Kawasaki Vulcan 650S. This is like the first gen of that motor. So I like these bikes, and we'll see you guys later. Remember, it's not what you're riding, but where are you going?